Hey guys, how's it going? Brandon here, and welcome you guys to our first Pokemon challenge video. I've been wanting to do these for a little while now, so we're going to be kicking it off with can you beat Pokemon Emerald with only a Lotad? Now before we start, let's go over the rules for this run. We're only allowed to use Lotad in single battles. There's a few double battles in and throughout the game, so we're going to have HM Slaves in our party that will be like the number 2 of that. But we're going to be doing most of the damage with a Lotad all the way through the game anyway. I'll do my best not to use these mons in the double battles, but they'll probably be quite low level anyway, so I doubt they'll be doing much damage or anything really at all. We're not allowed to use any glitches or exploits in the game, so no XP codes, no duplication glitches for rare candies or anything like that. We can do everything legitly and as humanly as possible. And the last one is that I'm not going to use any items during the battle, so no X items, no healing, no potions during the battle. I can heal outside of battle and use elixirs and stuff. That's also like along the lines of the Elite Four and stuff. Use rare candies outside of battle and all that good stuff. Lotad will also be able to hold on to items as well. So just a quick note that I am going to be using an emulator for this. So if you see parts that look a little bit sped up, it's because I'm using the speed up button on the emulator. I am at uni after all, so I don't want to sit on hours and hours on end on an actual like GBA and turn the speed button off and try and grind it out for hours and hours on end, because I don't really have the time. So without further ado, let's get into this. We start our adventure meeting Professor Birch. We name ourselves Quack because of course we do, and find ourselves in the back of a moving truck. We jump out to be greeted by Mum as we're moving on to our new house here in Little Rock Town. I go upstairs and set my clock and also take the potion out of the PC. I head downstairs to hit Daddy's on the telly, but I want to get as quickly as possible so we can get this run on the way and get my Lotad. Head to next door's house and barge my own in, where we first meet May, the rival of the game. She goes off to help her dad do research as I search for my Lotad. We head to Route 1 to see Professor being attacked by a Zigzagoon. It's here where we grab our Lotad and the run begins. But unfortunately, I can't touch this thing. Lotad at level 5 only knows Astonishing Growl, which means Zigzagoons I can't actually hit unless I get rid of all my PP and you struggle. Luckily, if you're about to lose to this Zigzagoon, it flees and we eventually escape. Although we lost, Professor Birch still gives us the Lotad as a reward. We name her Pringles because I'm stupid and I can't spell Pringles properly, and I didn't notice until someone pointed it out to me later on in the run. I'm still going to call her Pringles throughout this run though, just to save some downtime. This Lotad's going to be amazing anyway, so it doesn't matter that the name's wrong. We head up to route towards Odell Town, pick up the free potion, and heal before going up to Route 3. I get us up to level 7 learning Absorb before taking on May for the first time. She has Mudkip since I gave myself some slack and replaced Torchic in the bag. It goes down with a few absorbs, also giving enough EXP to get us to level 8. We head on back down towards the lab, where Professor hands us our Pokédex and May gives us some Pokeballs. As we're leaving town, Mum also stops us to give us the running shoes. This is where I start my search for my first HM Slave Zigzagoon, to give us Cut, Rock Smash and eventually Strength when it evolves later on. This took me a while. I managed to reach level 9 and 10 before actually finding one. I find it and call it Zack, because it's his favourite mon, and he'd be pretty pissed off at me if I didn't name it after him. Time to head to Route 102 for our first load of Pokemon battles. Nothing too trouble. We do reach level 11 and level 12 before making it to Petalburg City. We go and visit Dad before being rudely interrupted by the bitch that is Wally. I speed through this quite quickly because it's the catch tutorial and not really relevant to the run. Dad tells us then to challenge the gyms and head to Rustboro City to challenge Roxanne. A few battles along the road towards Petalburg Woods get us to level 13, where we also learn Nature Power before we enter the woods itself. It's here we first meet one of the evil teams of the game, Team Aqua. We fight the Grunt, taking him down with Absorb before reaching level 14. This is the point where dear old Pringles would normally evolve, bless her, but we want to keep her as Doc for as long as humanly possible, and by that I mean the whole game, so we're going to have to say no. It was also at this point where I realised that I want to get an Everstone as quickly as possible, because stopping an evolution every level is going to be a real pain in the arse. We exit the woods and we talk to the guy on the left who gives us the TM for Bullet Seed, a grass type move with 10 base power but can hit 2 to 5 times. We teach you to Pringles and continue on battling a few trainers to get us to level 15. We arrive in Rustboro City and grab the HM for Cut and teach it to Zack before entering the first gym. With both Absorb and Bullet Seed, I was confident going into this. First trainer lost to a crit Bullet Seed and granted us level 16. The other 2 trainers in the gym also went down to just 2 Bullet Seeds, giving us enough XP for level 17. So it was time to face the first gym leader, Roxanne, rock types, so Lotad should have no problem here whatsoever. She starts with a Geodude which goes down to another crit Bullet Seed. She sends out her second Geodude which also dies to a Bullet Seed. I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. Finally her ace is Nose Pass, around the same level of us and really bulky. I go for Bullet Seed but only hit twice, only putting a little dent into it. Bullet Seed and again hitting all 5 times this time though, but it lives on the slightest bit of health. She goes for a Rock Tomb hitting, and then hits me with a crit, leaving me with 9 HP and lowering my speed as well. It's then holding a berry which it activates before Roxanne uses a potion on it. I go for a bullet seed again, hitting a crit on the 4th one and also hitting the 5, but once again living on the tiniest bit of health before she goes for another potion. I go for another bullet seed, but I only hit 3 times this time, and then she outspeeds and kills me with another rock tomb. So to beat this, I decide that we head up to Route 16 to gain some more levels before trying again. This gets me to level 18 and 19 before I go back and try the battle again. Once again, her 2 Geodudes die again quickly before I go to Nose Pass. Bullet Seed only hitting twice in a row once again, and through Absorb to gain some HP back. She potions, I hit Bullet Seed all 5 times for the win, level 20 and our first gym badge. So Roxanne hands us the Stone badge and the TM for Rock Tomb. We exit the gym, some more Team Aqua shenanigans to speak in the Devon reporter, who says his plans have been stolen. We head to Rust-Earth Tunnel before we meet Mr. Bryony, whose Wingull was also taken by the Grunt. We enter the cave and take on the Grunt. He goes down to a few bullet seeds, and we get the good and the Wingull back. We give the good back as a thank you, receive the Pokénax from Mr. Stone, who also asks us to deliver a letter to his son Stephen. Exiting the city we see May and agree to battle her. She starts off with a Torkoal, and I don't know how she got this thing. She shouldn't have this thing at this point of the game. It uses Curse and we simply can't touch it. It takes us down with 2 Smogs after cursing it a few times. Carrying on, since we don't need to battle May at all, we head to Mr. Bryony's shack to ask if we can travel to Doofa Town, and that's the location in the next gym and the cave Stephen is in. Once in Doofa Town, we travel up towards the cave battling some fishermen who gives us enough XP for level 21. We went into the cave and grabbed the Everstone before handing it to Pringles, so I don't have to keep stopping her evolution every time she levels up. We reach Stephen, and he hands us the TM for Steelwing as a thank you for delivering in the letter. Now for the second gym battle. I didn't have high hopes for this gym as I only level with Brawly's Pokemon and no super effective advantage. Battling the trainers did get us to level 22. I felt like more training was needed, so I headed off to the beach under Slateport to take on more trainers. Here we reached level 23 and 24. I still felt more was needed, so carrying on with the story, we headed into Slateport to speak to Captain Stern, who wasn't in the dockyard but in the museum. It was filled with Team Aqua. They tried to ambush us and take the parts, but not much for Pringles. After we win, the leader of Team Aqua Archie for the first time, Captain Stern thanks us and heals us before we go on our own way. Up onto Route 110 we bump into Professor Birch, asks us how we're doing, and asks us as a Pokénav. We carry on up Route 110 with some battles, gets us to level 25 and 26. Now it was time to head back and take on Brawly for the first time. He starts with a matchup which bulk ups and then starts using Seismic Toss. He lives a few bullet seeds but then heals. I tried to absorb some health back, but the Cryochop does so much damage. Although we're in the yellow health, I know his Meditite loves to use Focus Punch, so all we have to do is absorb and it won't attack us, and we got low HP back for his fight against his ace Maccabee. His Meditite lives on red health and uses his last potion, which is great because it allows me to get all my H back. He brings in his Maccabee, I only hit 2 bullet seeds before he bulks up. I hit 3 times before a Vital Probe does serious damage. I try to go for a big 5 hit to finish him off, but only get 2 before another Vital finishes off. I figured the best way to train really battle is Modge Up and Meditite, since they give decent XP. We grew up to level 27 on the second attempt of the battle, but once again Maccabee was too strong and we died again. Which started to be a common theme. I ended up dying 13 times training up for this battle. On the 14th attempt, though, at level 29, I come up against Maccabee at 4 HP and no Light Screen from the Meditite. We hit a Swift on his bulk up before hitting all 5 of our bullet seeds to carry the Maccabee, and then our second gym badge. We received the Knuckle badge from Brawly and the TM for bulk up and can finally move on. Moving on past Slateport back on the Route 110, we're now under the Cyclone Bridge where we bump into May, who wants to battle again. This time she loses with Lombre after a few bullet seeds and a Swift it goes down. Next Slugma, who has replaced Torkoal, thank God, goes down to a Sift and finally a Marshtomp, who dies to a single crit absorb. At this point we reach level 30 heading towards Marble City in the 3rd gym. Trainers get us to level 31 and 32 before we reach Marble City. We grab ourselves the HM for Rock Smash and we'll use that for later. Now it's time to train before our battle against Watson. We start our training against the trainers around the city and get up to level 33 before we bump into Wally outside the gym. He's considering taking on the challenge and asks to battle us first to see if he's ready. We take on his Ralts and with a single Astonish take it out. He leaves to train up some more just as we need to as well. We continue on our grind against the Ralts trainers and level up further to level 34, level 35 and level 36. We enter the gym and take on the trainers inside to also reach level 37. Now's our time to take on the first go at Watson. In our other first attempts at gym leaders we haven't gone smoothly and I really wasn't expecting anything different from this one. I couldn't hit his Magneton with anything even neutral. So we get past Voltorb but at the cost of taking some damage, and before we even can think about Magneton, his Electric takes us out of a crit Shockwave. Normally grass types are resistant against electric, but we're part water as well, which means that electric is neutral against us. It was this point I knew I had to train up some more. So I went back to the grass, back and forth, to get some levels. With Illumise and Volbeat popping up every so often, they gave decent experience. I was able to get level 38, 39 and 40 in this. Time to challenge Roxanne again. With a few more levels under our belt, we start off well taking out Voltorb with a Bullet Seed. Next up Electrike, who goes down to 2 Swifts and an Absorb as he wastes a potion. I try my luck with Magneton with a Swift. It does about a third, but it was a crit. He paralyses me with Thunder Wave for Raw going to Shockwaves. I try my luck with Bullet Seed but only hit twice. His Sonic Boom, which gives him guaranteed 20 damage, takes me out with another Shockwave. I had to keep grinding. Some more Oddish, Illumise, Volbeat, Poochyena taken down to reach me level 41, 42 and 43. It was at this level where we learned our final level up move in Mega Drain, a step up above from Absorb, so we'll take any help we can get at this point. Then I used the rare candy I got from doing the Trick House while grinding to get us to level 44. Time to take on Watson again. I managed to get past the Magneton with a few Swifts but then died to a quick attack crit from his Manectric. I keep trying I did with Brawly, hoping to get some crits at some levels just to see how long it would take. We reached level 45 on our 6th attempt but still go down to Manectric Shockwave. Attempt number 7 and we beat Magneton with a bunch of Mega Drains. We're about to half health going into Manectric. We managed to break through Paralysation and live on 6 HP to take it down with one last Mega Drain. We get given the Dynamo badge and the TM for Shockwave. Time to head up Route 111, now that we can clear the path using Rock Smash on Zack and battle more trainers up the route. We reached level 46 and 47 after a very tense battle with a sand attacking Ninjask with Reach Life. Luckily a crit Astonish took it out though. Through 4 Albert Town and onto the Route 114, more trainers before we hit Media Falls. We reached level 48 and catch ourselves a Swablu for our flyer for this run. I call him Cotton Jim, shout out to TFS Gaming for that one. Into Media Falls we run into both Team Aqua and Magma. Team Magma are going to try and use a meteorite they got off the Doctor at the top of Mount Chimney to make it erupt to expand the landmass, so that's where we've got to go to be able to stop them. We exit Media Falls on the route above Rustboro, battle a few trainers to reach level 49, before rock smashing the rocks in Rustov Tunnel to receive the HM for strength. We take the cable car up to the top of Mount Chimney where we find Team Magma. We take down the grunts no problem before our first real battle with Maxie. We take down his Mightyena with 2 Mega Drains no problem. Nature Power turns into Rock Slide up a Mount Chimney, so his new bat is no problem whatsoever either. Finally his Ace Camerupt being part ground makes grass neutral against it, so he goes down to a few Mega Drains and a Bullet Seed. He then decides against using the Meteorite and leaves Mount Chimney. Down the ragged path the trainers get us to level 50 before we arrive in Laveridge Town for our 4th gym battle. Flannery is up next and our team is Fire types, which we are neutral, but we have no super effective water type moves, so just have to go with Swift on the plain fire types and Mega Drain and Bullet Seed on an M1 camera up since it's neutral. Quickly into the battle I noticed she likes to set up Sunny Day with her Mons before going with big damage with Overheat. We die to a single Overheat in the sun from her Torkoal. I suddenly realised I should probably go for better strategies in these battles than just going for damage. I head back to the move chute to relearn Rain Dance over Astonish since the next gym is normal, so Astonish has done all it can. I get to level 51 on a few trainers we missed before, now it's back to the gym. We try again, but now with Rain Dance. I go for Rain Dance and the camera up weakening its overheat, but it still manages to get a crit on us, taking us down to half. I get on my HP back with Mega Drains while she heals, and gets the sun back up. I take it down with a Mega Drain, in comes Torkoal, and I set up Rain again. It goes for her first overheat, but its White Herb gets it back to full in terms of its stat boosts. His hero remembered it also has a track, so having a female Lotad really come in handy for this fight. I go for Rain Dance again, after it's Sunny Days, but she goes for a Body Slam. I need to make sure the rain is up on our overreach to weaken them as much as possible, but due to the crit on the first one, I was at too low health just for a Body Slam to take me out. With the randomness of the NPCs, I couldn't get a pattern right every time, so this one also took a few attempts to get right, as I needed everything to fall into my favour as we die in the second attempt as well. I also realised that getting paralysed in this battle was also really stupid, since it would slow my speed, and then I also have a chance to get paralysed, so we replaced the Everstone with a Cherry Berry just in case. On the next go we reach level 52, but get paralysed twice to lose again. We're still trying as we reach level 53. Torkoal keeps living on red health before doing enough damage with Body Slams to take us down. On our 11th attempt we're back at Torkoal, full health after she wasted her potions on camera up before. I'm feeling drained about this challenge at this point. I've been going for about 4 hours. I set up the rain twice as she uses Sunny Day then Body Slam. She gets the power but the berry cures me and a Swift on a Sunny Day for some damage. I ran down to another Body Slam but no power this time. A Swift crit on a Sunny Day puts us in a good spot. I set up the rain again not to take any chances she misses her overheat, and now at speed I managed to take it down with 2 more Swifts, winning us our 4th gym badge. Now that nightmare's over with, we head out the gym and bump into May on the outside. She gives us the goggles to be able to go into the Sandstorm on Route 112. It's at this point where I realised before the next gym we really should use some items to help us, since the Cherry Berry did such a good job. I head back to Dooford and pick up the Silk Scarf to boost up Swift, and Inspectable Words to grab the Miracle Seed to boost our grass type moves as well. I hand Pringles the Silk Scarf and we head into the first battle. Dad's hard hitting normal types are really going to be an issue here since we have no super effective advantage against us and the hard hitting damage is just going to whittle us down altogether. He starts off with a Spinner, who goes for Facade, dealing damage but goes down with a Swift and a Mega Drain. Next up is Vigoroth. A Swift does just under half as he hits a Slash. I use Mega Drain to gain back as much HP as I can while he heals. I try my luck with Bullet Seed but only hit twice and a Mega Drain deals good enough damage before he slashes again before we take it down with another Bullet Seed. Next up is Silaidun. I use Mega Drain to get some HP back but Facade goes way too much damage. The 2 Swifts are enough to take it down and help us reach level 55. Now it's time for his big slacking. I go for a Mega Drain to recover what I can but one Facade takes us down all the way. I go with the Miracle Seed instead but on the second time we die to Silaidun's Slash. Up to our 5th attempt and we're back to slacking on a good amount of HP. We ourselves go for Mega Drain as for some reason it clicks counter. Because of Slacking's ability Truant, it can only attack every other turn, so we go for another free Mega Drain. He clicks Facade doing huge damage before his Citrus Berry pops. We click Mega Drain because all we need is the HP to get back, as it lives on the smallest bit of HP and goes for Yawn. Norman heals as we fall asleep, but then he uses Lawn while we're asleep, and then we wake up on turn 2 and go for a Swift. We go for a Mega Drain as he clicks counter again, another Mega Drain as he lives on red health before healing once again. We go for Bullet Seed and hit 5 times to use our last Mega Drain. We click Bullet Seed, put him into the red as he clicks Yawn, before we outspeed another Bullet Seed taking him down and we win us our 5th gym badge. It's at this point where the run really starts to pick up. Wally's uncle pulls us aside and gives us the HM for Surf, a 90 base water move that we can learn, finally a stab water move and a move with good base power. We get rid of Nature Power as it's done its job and we head down Route 105 on the water. It's on this route that we reach level 56. I then catch a Tentacle and call a Jello, as we'll need it later for the HMs for Waterfall and Dive. Along the coast of Route 107, trainers help us reach level 57, and it's also where we find the abandoned ship. We head aboard and make our way through where we find the storage key which opens the door for the TM for Ice Beam, which will be great for the next gym. We carry on down the road battling more trainers to help us reach level 58. We go all the way up to Marvel and head right to cross the water. We teach Pringles Ice Beam over Bullet Seed. We start on Route 119 heading towards Fort True Sea, battling the trainers and reach level 59 and level 60. It's in this battle where Zack also reaches level 20, so evolves into a Lionoon. We teach him Strength. We then stumble upon Team Aqua inside the Weather Institute. With our new moveset, we make quick work of them. After leaving, we bump into May, who we also make quick work of because of our new moveset. We go all the way up the route, reach Fortree City, before running straight through to go to Route 20. This is where we reach level 61. We find Steven on a bridge, and we battle the invisible Pokemon Kecleon. After winning, he hands us the Devon Scope, a device that allows us to see Kecleon, which allows us entry into the 6th gym, the Flying type gym. Although we're weak to flying, this was the most confident I'd been about a gym since Roxanne. We made quick work of the trainers, and it was time for another gym battle. Winona has 5 Pokemon leads with Swablu. It dies quickly to an Ice Beam, so no trouble whatsoever. Next up is Pelipper. I thought it would use Protect, so I went for a Rain Dance, but she actually hits me with a Supersonic. She then goes for Protect on my Ice Beam, which I managed to actually hit. She tries to Protect again but fails, and we break through and hit Ice Beam. After a few turns going back and forth, I managed to hit a Mega Drain taking it down. Next up was a Skarmory, which died to a Surf in the rain, so no problem with Skarmory whatsoever. Number 4 was Tropius. I break through Confusion once again, and hit Ice Beam to knock it out. And finally her Altaria. Known for being a massive pain in the ass, dies very quickly to an Ice Beam, as it's 4 times weak. But finally we'd beaten the gym on the first try. We exit and make our way down to the whole route with 120 before battling more trainers, who get us to level 63. We see Team Aqua talking about Mount Pyre before we go back to stop them. We travel to the top of the route of 123 to pick up the TM for Giga Drain. This is the best grass type move we can get in the game, so we say goodbye to Mega Drain. But the problem with Giga Drain is it only has 5 PP, so I used the PP ups that I found across the region to get it to the max it can get in this game, which is 8 PP. With this we have our final moveset for the entire run. We travel to Mount Pyre and decide to take on the trainers inside before we take on Team Aqua. These battles help us reach level 64 and level 65. We head to the top to take down Team Aqua without any hassle again, and get told that both teams have taken the orbs to wake the legendary Groudon and Kyogre. The old lady hands us the Mega Emblem, allowing us to enter the Team Magma base. Not before a quick trip to Lily Cove City for our final battle with May. Again, she goes down without too much of a fight. Now to Jagged Path, where a hole in the wall opens us access to the Magma Hideout. We battle the grunts inside, which gets us to level 66. I decide to no-balls it against Maxie since I'd used all my PP. We can confront him as he awakes Groudon, who quickly flees, and then we have to battle Maxie himself. I decided to set up Ren as I didn't think a Surf would kill his Mighty Anna in one hit, as it goes for a Scary Face, lowering my speed. His Mighty Anna outspeeds me and confuses me with Swagger, before I hit Surf, taking him down in one go. Next is Crobat, which is a huge problem as I'm now slower, and both his stabs are super effective against me. He goes for an air cutter and gets a crit as I live on 1 HP, and then I kill myself in confusion. Great. We travel back to try again. This time I just surf from the get-go, killing his Mighty Anna. His Crobat comes in again and hits another air cutter. I hit an Ice Beam and he lives, but then makes a stupid mistake of healing using only a Super Potion, which allows me to hit another Ice Beam to kill him. Finally his Camerupt, which goes down to a single surf and gets up to level 67. Out of the base, we head to Slateport, where we witness Team Aqua stealing a submarine and take it to their base in Lily Cove. Off to their base in Lily Cove we go. We take out the grunts quickly and grab the Master Ball for no reason whatsoever. Admin Mac goes down quickly, but Archie still manages to get away in the submarine. It's here I realised I'd spelt Pringles wrong, more pointing out to me when I sent it to Zach, and he told me I'd spelled it wrong. We head to Slateport to fix my error. Now heading right of Lily Cove towards Moss Deep, we need our 7th gym badge to catch Archie by using Dive. We reach Moss Deep and I head straight to the gym. The trainers help us reach level 68 before we take on Tate and Liza. Now a difficult battle normally, but now we can be double teamed and taken out really quickly, so my hopes for this one were not high at all. I thought about taking Xatu first would be my best bet, but it lived the Ice Beam, and as they take out Cotton Gym and Jello. I click Surf to hit both as they heal Xatu, doing good damage, but this turn they took down Zac as well, and that's a 1v4. To add insult, Xatu used Sunny Day so my Surf was even weaker. I set up the rain in a last ditch effort, but Laloon set up Light Screen, so my Surf was now weaker even in the rain. I kill the Claydol with a Giga Drain, get my HP back, but Lunatone goes for Psychic and lowers my special defense. A Giga Drain with the Light Screen up is enough to save me from 2 Psychics. I decide to go battle some trainers around the Moss Deep area before trying again. I reach level 69, nice. I then use 4 rare candies I'd found throughout the run to get me to level 73. Back in the gym, and this time for round 2. I put Jello in the number 2 slot to try something out to try and gain an extra turn of them attacking the other side. Ice Beam this time took down Xatu with no problem, as Claydol took down Jello with Earthquake. I brought in Zac but swapped him out straight away predicting the Earthquake, while I hit Lunatone with a Giga Drain nearly taking it down. Claydol did indeed go for Earthquake so it doesn't affect Cotton Gym, but then it died to Lunatone's Psychic. Next turn I go for Surf, taking down the Lunatone and dealing big damage to Claydol as he takes out Zac. It's now 2v1 and the Surf took down Claydol as Soul Rock went for Sunny Day to block my Surf, but now it's 1v1. And a Giga Drain was good enough and all I needed, beating the gym and gaining my 7th gym badge. We exit the gym and go heal. As we walk towards the space station we see Team Agbo heading there as well. We head in and take the grunts before seeing Steven with Maxie. We team up with Steven and take Maxie and Tabitha without too much trouble. After Steven invites us to his house and rewards us with the HM for Dive. With this we teach it to Jello and head for the C4 cavern where Team Aqua are. I reach level 74 on the swimmers before heading to Stutopolis City so I can heal and mark it on my map so we can fly there later on. We dive down and reach the C4 cavern, a short trip through and we come face to face with Kyogre before Archie arrives. Time for our fight of Archie. Similar to Maxie, he starts with a Mighty Anna which goes down to a Surf. Next is Crobat. Unlike before, this goes down to a single Ice Beam, before finally is a Sharpedo, which also goes down just to a single Giga Drain. After the battle, the Red Orb wakes Kyogre, and he flees like Groudon. We head outside to see it's raining heavily as both Groudon and Kyogre are out of control. Steven turns up and tells us to meet him at Stutopolis. We fly there as we visited there before, to see Kyogre and Groudon in the middle of the city, having it out. Steven takes us to the Cave of Origin, where we meet Wallace, who tells us we need Rayquaza to stop him from fighting. We agree to go to Sky Pillar to find him. On the way we battle more trainers and reach level 75. We make it to the Sky Pillar, where we see that the weather is starting to widen. We head to the top of the Sky Pillar to rake Rayquaza. Cue the epic cutscene. I remember thinking this was the coolest thing ever as a kid. It remains one of the many reasons why this is still my favourite Pokemon game to date, why Rayquaza is still my favourite legendary. After all this, the legendaries go back to Harding, and Archie and Maxie see their ways aren't so the best. That's us done with the story part of the game, time for the final part. Now it's all over and done with, Wallace rewards us with a HM for Waterfall and says that the 8th gym is now open. Into the gym we go, we battle the trainers to help us reach level 76 before we decide to take on one. Being a water type leader, I was confident going into this other than his Kingdra. Into the battle and his Loveliest dies very quickly to a single Giga Drain. Same for his Whiscash and his Celio. Next up was the Kingdra itself. With it being faster and knowing double team, this was going to be a massive pain. A load of Giga Drains, Ice Beam and healing later, he reveals to be a Resto Chesto set before taking me down. Second time's the charm and we're back on Kingdra. This time though I managed to get a freeze allowing me to take it out with another Ice Beam while it's frozen. His final Pokemon is Crawdaunt, which also goes down to a single Giga Drain, and we beat one and get our 8th and final gym badge. Time to head off towards Victory Road. We battle more trainers along the way to reach level 77 before making it to the Evergrande City. I travel back up to pick up Flash and back to Route 102 to catch another Lotad, as they can learn Flash themselves. I call him Pringles for the meme and head back to Victory Road. We enter and run straight into Wally as he wants to challenge us to see if he's ready for the leap for himself. He's not. Travelling through Victory Road, we meet a load of trainers that get us to levels 78, 79 and 80. We're out and finally at the final hurdle, which is Elite 4. I kinda knew I'd have to be near level 100 before this would be beatable, so I just wanted to see how far I could get. I managed to take down Chimney without any hassle, but Phoebe manages to take us out using her confusion stats. I'm not going to beat around the bush here and take you through it all piece by piece because we'd be here for another half an hour or so. I have to be at level 100 if I have a chance of completing this challenge, so I sit and grind all the way up to level 100. These guys are the best source of XP in the game, so I'm just going to keep going through it over and over again. Once we're there, I'll explain how each battle went because it wasn't a cakewalk. Once I got high enough into level 99, I saved after each battle since there was no point in going back through once I'd reached level 100. Chimney went down in one hit and everything, so no problems there. Phoebe I set up Brain turn 1 on a Protect to save PP before I surf everything away. Glacier on the other hand was a bit different. Acelios and Warrain went down with 1 Giga Drain, but Aglaele's lived to surf even at level 100. I needed to crit or hope her first one missed its Icy Wind, since if it hits I'll then be slower than her second one, which will then use Explosion to kill me. After a few resets I managed to get a high roll on the first Glacier, killing it in 1. Everything else soon follows. My strategy was the same for Drake like Phoebe. I clicked Rain turn 1 because Shelgon likes to use Protect. Everything else goes down to an Ice Beam, Kindred goes down to 2 Giga Drains. Now it's time for the champion. This is where it comes down to just straight luck. Here's what I needed to happen. I set up turn 1 Rain Dance so I can get my HP back with Rain Dish ability. We KO Warlord with a single Giga Drain. I then need Tentacle to go for 2 Sludge Bombs and not Toxic. Since Toxic then stacks, it will just slowly take me out before the battle's over. I Giga Drain it 4 times to slowly take it down. I then need to hope my Lotad also doesn't click Toxic and goes for Ice Beam for damage and doesn't freeze, so I can take it down with 3 Giga Drains. Next is Ludicolo, who knows Double Team, so I need to be able to hit it enough time with Ice Beam to be able to take it out. Wishcash is fine because it dies to 1 Giga Drain. And finally Gyarados. I need to hope that I can kill it before it sets off Dragon Dance and then kills me with its Hyper Beam. Let's go from my first battle at level 100, then the battle that made me cry a little bit, and then my final attempt at this challenge. So, we do what we need to do against Wailord and set up the rain, and we take it down with a Giga Drain. Next is Tentacruel, which is Toxic, so it's GG. Like I said, Toxic's going to stack up, so I can't actually deal with it. This goes on for a long time, so let's skip ahead. This is attempt number 23. We set up the rain on Wailord and take it down like normal. We hit 3 Giga Drains on Tentacruel while taking 2 Sludge Bombs without getting poisoned. My Milotic Ice Beams on my Giga Drain, then recovers, taking it out of healing range, but also in range of a Giga Drain. Next up, Ludicolo goes down to 3 Ice Beams after going for a Giga Drain and then a Double Team. Next up, Wishcash, who drives to straight Giga Drain like it always will. And then finally Gyarados. We go for an Ice Beam as he Dragon Dances. He then Earthquakes and lives on the smallest bit of health after another Ice Beam. Wallace heals as I Rain Dance for HP back before he clicks Hyper Beam, leaving me only on 2 HP. I go for Surf in the Rain, which does about half of his HP. He needs to recharge because of Hyper Beam. We click Surf again, and he get a min roll, and he lives on like 3 HP, and then outspeeds because of Dragon Dance to take us down by an Earthquake. It was here I really wanted to give up this challenge. I came so close, but because I'd come so close, I knew it was able to be done. Attempt number 20 was my final attempt. We start with Wailord goes down, pretty fine. Tentacle goes down to a crit Giga Drain. Milotic comes in and misses a Toxic, and then recovers on a turn to put him in range of Giga Drain again. Ludicolo comes in and starts double teaming, but I end up hitting all 3 Ice Beams just to take it down. Wishcash drops, and we're back to Gyarados. I set up Rain knowing 2 high roll surfs we had to take it down. It goes for an Earthquake doing little damage. I hit the first surf putting into the yellow half health, as it clicks Dragon Dance again. It clicks Dragon Dance a second time outspeeding, but I click Surf doing enough damage to finally take out the Gyarados and beat Pokemon Emerald using only a Lotad. That was crazy. For my first challenge I really didn't think that it would come down to that sort of strategy and that sort of shenanigans going on. But this took a lot of time to put together, guys, so if you could smash that like button for me, that would be absolutely fantastic. If you want to see more of these Pokemon challenges, definitely make sure to let me know in the comment section below, and subscribe for more Pokemon content on the channel. But that being said, you guys, I'm getting out of here. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace!